Well, time for something completely new. So, I'm gonna try to explain this guide, like how to optimize your game in the best way for high level play. And what I mean by that is like how to, have as much as visual clarity when playing the game on the highest difficulty, and what you can do to basically improve your gameplay. So, first of all, let's go to options, keyboard and mouse. Raw input always on. Sense. I am more of a high sense player. Well, I have high DPI and high Windows settings. I experiment with my settings a lot. This is what I'm using for now. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes 0.7, but for now I'm using this one. Uh, Never use this. Never use this. Raw input always on. No idea what this does, to be honest. I don't care. But here we come to the most important part. Key bindings. So this is all like generic, as you can see, but this one is getting interesting. So you can choose what you prefer for melee. This one as well. I like to hold my shift key when sprinting, and yeah, quick use gadget. I'm currently using it on Z, but I might gonna use on mouse 4 or something like that. Next gadget I'm using for AM, since I'm just switching with my thumb for what I need. And yeah, this one I choose on purpose so that I don't use mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down, since it's sensitive and I don't want to change a gun mid-fight. Toggle last weapon. It used to be Q, but I'm using a Q for something completely different now, I think. Not sure. What's for weapon wheel? Weird. Because I swear by Q I choose the last weapon, and it's not. Ah, never mind. It's just serious M bug. Third person H, Netrix, sense N. Talk, use voice communication, basically anything you want. But here we come to the creme de la creme, the most important part. So, weapon slot 1 is for your knife, 2 is for your pistol, 3 is for your shotguns, 4 is for AR and minigun, and 5. Now you can use 5 for rocket launcher, or you can use Q as well. 6 is also important. It's for laser gun and chainsaw launcher, something like that. I'm using F. Weapon slot 7 is sniper and cannon. I'm using it's Devastator and auto shotgun, and C is for sniper and cannon. Those ones do not exist. They are not important unless you play modded. So I'm basically using the ones that I use for Quake or older serious M. Like for instance for BFE, I don't have 5. I just use Q rocket launch. Same for the classics. I'm probably gonna switch here as well to Q. We will see. This one is not important. So yeah, lesson number 1: use your key bindings. Make it more accessible to you, whichever you prefer, specifically for weapons. Obviously, you can experiment with the sensitivity as well. Game options. Now, this is interesting. You can enable this if you want, but I prefer it off. It's not that compelling or interesting, at least not in this game. Blood and gore. I use green since it's really cool and easy on the eyes. Or you can use Halloween. Those two I found the best for clean gameplay. Gips or Gyps disabled. Also disabled. I don't find that interesting or that much needed. Crosshair, not that you have a choice. Show critical hits. You can leave this on. I leave it on so that I can know if I headshotted an enemy. Classic, obviously, instead of the stupid hell bars. Subtitles, tentative, it's not that important. I use hold to aim, since I use that for different games like Call of Duty, Killing Floor 2, and PUBG. Since specifically in PUBG you can actually have a millisecond advantage if you use hold to aim then toggle, because of faster response time. I'm not sure if the same case is here in Serious M, but it's preference, but I prefer to hold. I don't like the Tommy gun weapon skill. It's a weapon skin. It feels weird and awkward to use. Auto select weapon never. I will explain why later. Prefer review, first person obviously. Or yeah, you can choose third person as well. This is one I prefer since I play the game to its depth and I don't really need. Objective markers you can disable or enable or whatever. And here's the most important part. Now you can use show weapon ammo list, but since the game launched without it, I kinda got adjusted to it, but it's good, you can keep it on. Netrixa notifications, like if you've beaten the game already, there is no point in to have it. This is the most important part. View bobbing should be off, always, and I will explain why. Weapon bobbing, completely your preference. It doesn't affect gameplay. This one does. Player model, self-explanatory, not that important. So let's explain why it's so important. Let's choose one of the later levels where you have how is it called? The Devastator. Yeah, that's gonna be a fine example. So when you disable the weapon view bobbing, you will actually be more precise because the recoil of the weapon is not gonna screw up your aim. Since if you have enabled weapon bobbing or whatever view bobbing, the screen shaking is really increased, which can mess up your aim. Most importantly, like with the Devastator or Sniper, even with the AR or the DBS, the double shotgun. It takes ages to load still, even with a beefy PC, so alright.
Carter,
Here.
is that you?
As you can see.
Can you hear me?
Carter, hello?
Oh my gosh, shut up. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Keyboard configure keys, where is toggle? Toggle dual wielding. I use it for mouse wheel up. You can use anything you want that's close to you, mouse 4, whatever. I use it mouse wheel up. Anyway, this was with view bobbing. Now let's see the default version. You see how much the screen shakes? See how much the screen shakes with the Devastator. Now, yeah, it makes the weapons feel more powerful and stuff like that, but you should keep it to 0. Now, let's see without it. See? Much better. Obviously, when you scope in, the screen shake is still there, but if you do not scope, yeah, much better. So yeah, I think I demonstrated why you should use it. Yeah. It's beautiful. Even it affects the pistol. Okay, so we got this out of the way. Why should you disable blood and gore? Now, this probably is a bad example, and I will find a better one. But you see how much it's clean, no gore, no blood, nothing to distract you from killing the enemies. By the way, banger soundtrack. But let's find a better example to demonstrate why you should disable gore. Let's choose... yeah, the minigun section. I think that's a good example. Wait, maybe I have saved it. Let me see. I have tons of saved files since I'm practicing for a 100% sort of a speed run. But so obviously you want to have gore disabled for one simple reason, so that you can better spot enemies and kill them faster. That's the only reason. Obviously some people prefer gore. It's not like the game is unplayable if you leave the gore on, but we are talking here about optimizing your game for the most fine experience and to have as less as possible a visual cluster so that you can have clean gameplay. Let me first check if I have something saved here. the dice, guess. No, no, protocol, Carcassonne. Yeah, I think the Time Warp Secret Practice. No, it's not that one. Nope. No, Gates Kamikaze Trap. Nah, let's do it here. Now, keep in mind, this is without the gore. And without the debris. See, you don't see the clear bones. You can see them properly. The moment you no visual cluster, everything is fine. You can focus on killing other enemies faster, which is nice. I'm not locked in. I'm not tryharding, just, you know, trying to kill them to demonstrate why you should keep it disabled. But this is not the section that I want to talk about. There is a different one that I want to talk about. We'll see. Okay, now let's get the minigun. Actually, let's speed the process up. It's not a difficult fight. I prefer the corridor section in BFE for obvious reasons, and it's way better than this. Oh, it sucked the drones. Nice. Oh. Perhaps I should use this trick when speedrunning. That saves a lot of time. Alright. Anyway. We don't need this one. So, this is the infamous... how do you call it? Colosseum fight? No. Vatican fight. Park. Whatever. Now. Let's see. Some kamikaze spawn. Boop. Just green splash. No gyps, no anything. Now let's see with the Halloween. Whoops. Oh, even less. The smoke is black though, so... Okay, let's put the default settings. So we have gyps. We're gonna have corpses. We're gonna have debris. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have dynamic decals, which is blood basically. We're gonna enable regular deaths. We're gonna disable that. Apply. I hope the game doesn't crash. Nice. Okay. See? It immediately creates new distractions to the game. And it also can affect your performance a tiny bit. Okay, let's see now without the gyps. We go again here, 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 and this is the important part. You open up your console. You obviously know the key. I'm not gonna explain. You type in corpse, press tab. Find this command. Type in equal. I don't know how it's called. Equal bore, whatever. Enter. Now we type in debris. Debris is basically when you destroy a building or a tree and then the stuff that falls down. So it's basically another visual cluster that you do not need. So we find... oh, here it is. We type 0. Then we find per model. We type in 0. Corpses we have enabled 0, so basically we won't see any corpses unless you kill multiple enemies at once. It's an old bug, it's even presented on HD games and Serious Infusion. We disable decals, which is blood. Disable regular deaths, self-explanatory. This, I don't know why it's here. I have yet to spot a difference when using or when enabling or disabling this, whatever. We apply. and much better. No jibs to stay around. Performance is better. The FPS is increased by 10. It used to be 130. Now it's 144 since I kept it. So yeah, perfect example. Or if you wanna go to extreme, you can go none and but I prefer to have the blood on. So yeah, huge difference. I prefer to have some visual indication if I'm damaging the enemy or not, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So, we explained why... Oh. So try to quick scope with your sniper instead of, you know... See, because if you unscope, you can have better FOV, like see what's going on. Do you have an enemy from your right? Do you have an enemy to your left? So you have more visual clearance. So try to, the moment you shoot, you unscope. Scope again to shoot. Also, important tip for the AR is what I see when I watch other people play, YouTubers, streamers, whatever, even on higher difficulties, they tend to, when they when they do wield a gun, they just shoot like this. They do not let off the trigger, which is a big mistake. Since you wanna tap fire more like it, so that you can control the recoil. I'm gonna show you, so you don't hold down. I mean, you can hold down if the enemies are really close to you, but if you hold your distance, you should shoot like this. It's basically like burst firing or tap firing or whatever it's called. Since, as you can see, the recoil is less and you are more precise, which is exactly what you need. Here, let me show you again. Obviously, since I'm closer, I can afford to shoot faster, but if you have distance and you need to be more precise and less recoil so you can hit your shots, you just tap fire or burst fire. Same for single. Again, to the sniper, you do not shoot like this. You shoot on scope, so you basically try to quick scope, so you can be... If you quick scope too fast, it's not gonna be precise, you see? You need to be like there is a mini delay that you need to find yourself so that you can be as precise as possible. So, oh yeah, let me demonstrate the debris thing. So let's put it, I don't know, 300. Ah shit. Per model I also need to have, yeah. See? Same things if you destroy some statues. For enemy gore, they also count as debris. Like when you shoot enemy and explodes, the stuff that you see, the corpse parts, it counts as debris. So yeah, it can be a visual impairment. Let's put it again to 0. Boop! Nothing. It looks kinda silly, but you will aim better. Yeah. Okay. We got that out of the way. Graphics? Okay. Yeah, I have a 2K monitor. It can even run up to 4K res, whatever the fuck. But I can play the game on 2K, and it looks okay, obviously. But for the sake of performance-wise, and because it looks decent enough, even on 1080p, despite on a 2K monitor, I'm using this res. Also, it's important, if you're using full HD, you use rendering HD. If you use something lower, it will look really, really blurry, and you will gain only a small performance increase. So only use this if you're really desperate. But if you wanna tone down the rendering, you should tone down the res, so that, or you can tone down the res and increase the rendering, but whatever works for you. I like this. Since I'm using 1080p, I'm gonna use this. I have no idea what this does, to be honest. I don't know why it's here. If you're using 2K, you're gonna use this. Self-explanatory. If you use something lower than 1080p, you're gonna use this, and if you're using 72p, you're gonna use this. So your res should follow the rendering. Since my PC can handle the game pretty nicely at this res and on 2K, I still chose this one since it's more nice. I don't know, I'm feeling more comfortable. I keep this at none for max performance. Fidelity cast is quite nice. It works quite nice, but considering the game's optimization, I don't really think it's worth it. So better, increase your performance like resolution and reduce the graphical settings than to rely on CAS. Obviously it depends on systems. Maybe some people will have more luck with CAS. I tried it out. It looks nice, but I notice in some areas where I never have FPS drops, I gain a tiny bit of FPS drops. It's noticeable and I dislike it. Preference. Here we come to the more important part. What FOV should you use? This one. It's between this value and this value. So it should be always between 90 and 120 if you're using higher res. By higher res I mean like 1080p or some shit. But if you're using a lower res, like 4:3 resolution like this, if you're really desperate, you can even go down up until to like 75 FOV. But you should, in my personal opinion, never go under, wait, can I do it like this? Yeah, you should go never under 90. That should be a bare minimum. You can go with 120. I tried it out. I don't like it. I find that I'm the most precise when dealing with headshots when I'm using this on this resolution. When I'm playing on 2K res, this one, I go 120. But I personally like, I'm not a big fan of 120 FOV. I never was, no matter the game. It's just not my type. So you should experiment, find the one you're most comfortable, the one where you hit the shots the most, stick with it. Before we go to performance color options, completely your preference, whatever. I don't like vivid, I prefer standard, or maybe boosted, or in this case I'm using custom. It's like standard but decrease saturation and slightly increase brightness. So yeah, feel free to experiment, whatever you like, whatever you find makes you the best at recognizing enemies, which is kinda hard in this game since they blend with the environment really badly, like for some reason. So yeah. Okay, here we come to the most important part, performance. So I have a Ryzen 5 7600 CPU and an XR XT 7800 GPU. Obviously it's more than capable. Why am I playing lower settings? One simple reason, stability. So I have my FPS at the monitor capped at 144, which I'm using the same. It doesn't mean you should do it. So if you have a 60 Hz monitor, go with 60 FPS or 90, whatever. If you have like a 240 Hz monitor, which is a bad thing for this game since it's not good optimized, you can just go unlimited and use your control panel for the GPU. If it's NVIDIA, you use NVIDIA. If it's AMD, you use Adrenalin or whatever, and cap the frame rate from there. I kept it with in-game because I find it okay, like it works fine. But if you want, you can like go unlimited here and cap it through your control panel, whatever the hell. So you should use as much hertz as your monitor supports. If it's 120, use 120. If it's 144, use 144. If it's 180, use 180, assuming, of course, your PC can handle it. If not, then you should probably tone down. Like if you cannot get at the most time, like let's say the 80% of time you cannot get the FPS that your monitor supports, like hertz, you should probably tone down, which is fine. So yeah, let's go CPU. Always use pre-baked lighting. Dynamic lighting, while it makes the game look nicer, it just completely destroys your FPS no matter what system you have. Like, the boyfriend of my girlfriend's sister has a insanely good PC, way better than mine. He has like the best Nvidia GPU, like 4070 Super Ryzen 7800 X3D. He even had trouble running this game, even with the pre-baked lighting on, off, whatever. So yeah, if you wanna play it like on the highest difficulty and have the biggest stability, you should always go lowest. But you can change some stuff, like as explained, console command corpse tab equal 0, enter. Now you have 0 corpses. Debris, same, custom is 0, 0. Dynamic decals, self-explanatory. Blood, we don't want that. Disable regular deaths, we don't need regular deaths. Simple character, I don't know it's here, since as I said I don't think it's like characters, arms, preference, animations and shit, just turn it off. This is preference. Rendering distance, now this is something that you can actually increase. I do not go full since it's not needed, but it goes something like this. It's like 75%, I don't know, so that I can spot easier enemies at distance, because rendering distance is a little bit, how do you say that, it's more for how far you can spot some stuff, but it's more generous when it comes to enemies. Even if you have lowest, you will always spot enemies first, and then the buildings, the trees, the whatever. So the enemies will always have priority in rendering distance. Dynamic shadow distance, I don't need it. It's lowest. Oh, reflection. Oh, I forgot to turn that down. I don't need it. Reflection, lowest. Next, active sounds. You should be comfortable to increase this. I'm keeping it just under half, like 50%. I find it the best. Sound occlusion. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what it is. Default, lowest. Particle density, as it says, how much particles you want to have on screen. 0. Okay, well, let's apply. GPU speed. Now, this is a tricky one. So, none, billionaire, none. I don't need those fancy effects. I don't care. The game looks terrible even on high settings, and it runs even worse. As I said, you can just play on lowest settings, increase the resolution, and you're good to go. Rendering. Now, it's, how do I explain this? So rendering bias, LOD, level of detail is I think LOD, I don't know. So it basically controls at what distance does it start to render the enemy properly. So the lower it is, the enemies need to get more and more closer to you, so they don't look like Minecraft pixels, if that makes sense. Never use it at full, since it's not worth it. Like, you don't need to see a perfectly pixel enemy too far away. You don't need it. So since I have a beefy PC somewhat, I keep it at like 50%. That's it. Since if I'm shooting an enemy from far away, what does it make? I can still see its head. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 1000 pixel, I'm still gonna do the headshot. So yeah, I don't know what it is. Lowest, no, low. Bloom, none, no, no, nothing of this. I don't need it. You don't need any of this shit. None. High quality trees, absolutely no. Cramps, I guess it can be preference, but it's not that nice. It doesn't look nice as in BFE, let's say, or HD the second encounter, so I just choose grass only. You cannot disable crumbs rendering like in Fusion or in HD. Oh wait, maybe I can. Oh, interesting. So if you type in render, press tab, and find render crumbs, you can put it to 0. Oh, that's cool. Definitely using that. As all the way down, lowest. GPU memory, I just put it on lowest. If you want, you can go like low. It's not that important. Ground quality is important setting. You should keep that at lowest. because of terrain and stuff like that. And yeah, sound options. Voice controls the voice characters as well. Music, I always turn it on, but not too much to be too distracting, since like it's important factor for gameplay, because you can know, have I cleaned this area? Like if you're going for 100% like me, the music can be an indicator there are some enemies left or not. Plus the music for this game is just, I mean, it's one of the rare aspects of this game that's just done really, really nice. So yeah, I just basically didn't touch this. I reduced the music volume, disabled the voice, and master volume is like very, very tiny. Just like your dicks, haha. I mean, you're not gonna play multiplayer, why should I bother with this? Language, François, Deutsch, Italiano. Oh weird, there's no Croatian. Huh. Multiplayer options, I don't know, I don't care, you just choose your player models here. I use the default one. Performance, we already went through this. No. Wait, what? Okay. Advanced options. Auto. Always. Confirm quick load. I guess you can use that. Max quick saves. You can choose that as well. You can limit it or show time. It shows the time, game time when you start the level. Like how much time you spend on it, basically. Preference. Preference. This is default. This is default. Weapon. Well, this is also default. So yeah, this was basically a quick guide on how to optimize your game, and yeah, I hope I explained what to do. I'm gonna try to leave some links in description. I remember saved a video with some more console commands that you could use if you're really that desperate. And basically with these settings on my PC, the temperatures are like 40 degrees for the CPU and 40 for the GPU, even on the most intense stuff. So to summarize, keyboard and mouse, weapon bindings and dual wielding, choose that's really close to you and will get the job done. Game options, disable grips, choose easy on the eye, blood and gore. I prefer to go either green or Halloween, or disable them at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, view bowing always 0. This is preference. It shows if you move your weapons or not. It doesn't affect gameplay that much. I just like it, you know. I don't look like a robot when I put it to 0, and there's like, it's just preference. You can test it yourself. Graphics, let this rendering follow your resolution. Field of view between 90 and 120. Sound, self-explanatory. Performance, just go everything lowest, and plus on top of it other stuff as well, and you're good to go. So basically, to summarize, the game is not that good optimized. Like, I will basically say it when I'm eventually gonna upload a playthrough with commentary, which parts contain always FPS drops, no matter how strong your PC is, because I found it funny. But it's not like it's unplayable, but still, it leaves you asking for more. Like, is this really it? Like, come on, surely it could have been done better. And the answer is yes. Extras is like achievements. Oh yeah, you can test out with benchmarking the settings. I mean, if you want, you can go everything. Listen, this is the great part. You can like put everything on highest, on ultra, whatever. But keep in mind to like, this is the most important part for CPU. Disable corpse, disable debris, disable this. That's it. That's like the biggest visual cluster that it can create for you. and hinder the gameplay. And then you go to game settings, disable chips, choose the color settings, and that's it. That's basically that you can play like everything else on high if you really want high textures or whatever, and you obviously reduce the particles so that you don't have much visual clusterfuck. So yeah, hope I explained a lot of stuff. Hope I was like talking good in English, since I don't really talk that much. And yeah, I hope my mic is fine, like you can understand me clearly. And yeah, very soon I'm gonna start uploading like a playthrough with commentary on Serious M4. It's gonna be more of a guide on how to beat the game on serious difficulty, like the chest hair way, like without, you know, exploiting the game, the bugs, you know, camping in a spot where the enemies cannot reach you, blah blah blah. You know, showcasing some use of the gadgets, how to like speedrun it, like what you can do to, you know, it's gonna be half of a speedrun, half of a serious run on 100%, like how to get every single possible kill, skill point, secret, and whatever. So yeah, I hope I was clear enough. I hope that you understood now better some stuff, why you should use it that way. And yeah, happy playing. Thanks, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.